Good morning. Have a nice day. I hope that you have liked my previous class. Today we have a beautiful poem. The name of the poem is The Duck and the Kangaroo, which is written by Edward Lear. This poem is a humorous poem. It is known as nonsense verse. What is meant by nonsense verse? Nonsense verse is a form of nonsense literature usually employing strong prosodic elements like rhythm and rhyme. Prosodic elements means the patterns of rhythms. Before we go to class, let's have a small activity. Let me tell you how to do the activity. I have some things in my hand. Your time is 30 seconds only. You have to observe it. Then I will ask some questions. You have to answer to my questions. Let's have a fun. Are you ready? Students, did you observe the color sketches? Shall I ask some questions? Are you ready? The first question is, how many sketches are there in my hands? Say answer. Second question is, what are the colors did you see in the video? That means in my hand, what are the colors did you see? Third question, two sketches are the same color in my hands. What is the color? Fourth question, what are the color sketches in my left hand? In my left hand, you have to say the sketch's name, color sketch's name. Fifth question, last question. Do you like colors? I hope you like the colors. Can you say the rainbow colors? Students, I hope you had the fun. Let's go to the class.
At first, let's see about poet. Look at the picture. This is Edward Lear, who was born 12th May 1812 and died 29th January 1888. He was an English artist, illustrator, musician, author and poet. What is meant by illustrator? Illustrator means a person who draws or creates pictures for magazines, books, advertising, etc. As an author, he is known mostly for his popular nonsense collections of poems, songs, short stories, and botanical drawings. He also composed and published 12 musical settings of Tennyson's poetry. Introduction of this poem. This is a humorous poem. This poem does not make any sense but gives a great of reading the language in poetry. This is a dialogue between a good duck and a friendly kangaroo. The duck requests the kangaroo to give him a ride on his back. The kangaroo is willing that he requires some reflections. The duck tells him everything frankly and then they enjoy a ride around the world 3 times. This is the introduction of the poem. Students, let's read the first stanza. Said the duck to the kangaroo, good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty bond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you, said the duck to the kangaroo. Here, what the duck says to the kangaroo means, the duck expressed that the kangaroo could hop continuously over the fields and water bodies. Hop means jump. The duck life was boring as it remained in the pond all the time. The duck wished to see the world beyond the limits of the pond. The duck wishes that it could also hop like the kangaroo. Students, here Gracious means kind, courteous. And then nasty means unpleasant or bad. Second stanza. Please give me a ride on your back, said the duck to the kangaroo. I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack the whole of the long day through, and we would go to the D and the Jelly over the land and over the sea. Please take me a ride, or do, said the duck to the kangaroo. Here the meaning is that the duck requested the kangaroo to give it a ride on its back. The duck promised that I would sit quietly and I would not speak anything, but I would just quack all day. The duck listed the places that they would visit as D and Jelly. What is the meaning of D and Jelly means nothing but both of them are imaginary places with no references to the real world. So students, here D and Jelly means imaginary places. Then duck adds that they would hop over the land and the sea. This is what said by the duck to the kangaroo. Students, it's a time to refresh yourself. I have a song for you. Just watch and refresh yourself. Then let me continue the class.
To the kangaroo, good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you, said the duck to the kangaroo. Please give me a ride on your back, said the duck to the kangaroo. I would sit but still and say nothing but quack the whole of the long day through. And we would go to the D and the Jelly over the land and over the sea. Please take me a ride, oh do, said the duck to the kangaroo.
Students, let's back to the class. Third stanza. Said the kangaroo to the duck, this requires some little reflection. Perhaps on the whole, it might bring me luck. And there seems but one objection, which is, if you will let me speak so bold, your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatism, said the kangaroo. Here the explanation is that the kangaroo replied that I had to think over it. The idea could be good for him, but he had one objection. What is that? Yes, the duck's wet and cold feet could give it a body pains. Students, the rheumatism means the disease of rheumatism. The correct spelling of rheumatism is that rheumatism. Rheumatism. Okay, that means pain in the joints and muscles. Here the poet had written this word for rhyming rheumatism. Actually, the correct word rheumatism. Rheumatism, but the poet has written this word for rhyming as rheumatis. But this actually is one word, rheumatism. That means pain in the joints or muscles. Fourth stanza. Said the duck, as I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks, which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep out the cold, I have bought a cloak, and every day a cigar I will smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. Here the explanation is that the duck said that as I sat on the rocks during the day, and I had thought over it, in order to avoid that, the duck had bought 4 pairs of worsted socks, which fitted its web shaped feet well. In order to stay warm, the duck would wear a sweater and also smoke a cigar every day. The duck would do all this to protect the kangaroo as it was a beloved kangaroo. Fifth stanza. This is the last stanza of this poem. Said the kangaroo, I am ready, all in the moonlight well, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady. And quite at the end of my tail, so away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times around. And who so happy? Oh, who? As the duck and the kangaroo. Here the explanation of this stanza. Students listen carefully. The kangaroo was satisfied with the duck's response and got ready for the ride. At night, when the sky was filled with the pale light of the moon, they started their trip with the hop. Hop means jump. The kangaroo asked the duck to hold it firmly, that means strongly, to hold it strongly, and they traveled around the world 3 times. Both of them enjoyed each other's company. So, finally, the kangaroo accepted for trip. They traveled around the world 3 times. So, both of them enjoyed each other's company. This is the explanation of fifth stanza, that means last stanza. Summary of the poem. The poem gives an account of a conversation between a duck and a kangaroo. The duck praises the kangaroo for its ability to hop and visit places. The duck finds the bond boring as it has to stay there forever. The duck requests the kangaroo to make it sit on its back and go on a trip to places like the D and the Jelly Belly. Students, I have told already, both places are imaginary places. And crossing lands and seas. The duck promises that it would remain quiet and would only quack. The duck says that I won't speak anything, but I will make the sound quack. The kangaroo replies that I have to think over it because the duck's wet and cold feet may give it body pains, the disease of rheumatism. The duck says that I have made arrangements for the kangaroo's safety. It had got 4 pairs of worsted socks which fitted the web-shaped feet well. Additionally, it would wear a cloak to save itself from the cold weather and would smoke 1 cigar a day too. The duck loves the kangaroo and so wants to take precautions for its well-being. The kangaroo agrees to take the duck on a trip. Finally, the kangaroo agrees to take the duck on a trip. It asks the duck to sit firmly and not to move. The duck sits on the kangaroo's back. The kangaroo starts with a hop and they started their trips around the world 3 times. Both of them enjoy each other's company. Students, this is the summary of the poem. What is the message of this poem? The message is that this poem gives the message that those who are generous in acknowledging and appreciating the capabilities of others also gain from it. Admiration and politeness are positive qualities that make others comfortable. They help to win good friends and makes life very enjoyable and worthwhile. Student, this is a message of this poem. It's a time to refresh yourself. There is a song for you. Watch and refresh yourself. Then we will discuss the poetic devices of this poem.
Set the kangaroo to the duck. This requires some little reflection. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck. And there seems but one objection, which is if you let me speak so bold. Your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatic, said the kangaroo. Said the duck as I sat on the rocks. I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks, which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep out the cold, I have bought a cloak. And every day a cigar I'll smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. Said the kangaroo, I'm ready, all in the moonlight pale. But to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady and quite at the end of my tail. So away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy, oh, as the duck and the kangaroo, as the duck and the kangaroo, as the duck and the kangaroo.
Students, I hope you get reference. Now let's see literary devices. The first literary device is rhyme scheme. What is rhyme scheme? Every time when I taught the poem, I have explained rhyme scheme. Even though I tell now, what is rhyme scheme? A rhyme scheme is the pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of a poem. It is usually referred to by using letters to indicate which lines are rhyme. Students, look here. So kangaroo, we can give A. Hop, we can give B. So 2. So now 2 is a rhyming word to the kangaroo. So we can give A. So like that, if we give means, what rhyme scheme will come here? Yes. For the first stanza, A, B, A, B, C, C, A. This is the rhyme scheme for the first stanza. Second stanza, what will come? A, B, C, C, B. So remaining third, fourth and fifth stanza rhyme schemes are A, B, C, C, D. So these are the rhyme scheme of this poem. Next we see alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound at the start of 2 or more closely placed words. Students, see here. Good, gracious. G sound is being repeated. Then how, H sound is being repeated. That means alliteration has been used here. In next stanza you can see here, still, say and sit. Sit, still, say. So S sound is being repeated. So alliteration is used here. So like that, students have to find some alliteration words remaining stanza in the remaining stanzas. This is the homework. Next poetic device is anaphora. What is anaphora? When the same word is used at the start of two or more consecutive lines, it is known as anaphora. For example, students see and. So the same word is used at the start of two lines. It is known as anaphora. Do you understand? And. So in this line first word and, in this line first word and. So the same word, it is started at the beginning, it is known as anaphora. Students, next poetic device is enjambment. What is meant by enjambment? When the same sentence continues in two or more lines, it is known as enjambment. For example, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks which fit my web feet neatly. So students, here the sentence now it continues up to next line. It is known as enjambment. Here there is no punctuation mark. That means that sentence does not end. It ends with the next line. So here there is a full stop now. So it is known as enjambment. So the same sentence continues in two or more lines. One more example for you. All to follow my own dear. See here there is no punctuation mark. That means the sentence does not end. It ends in the next line. Love of a kangaroo. That means enjambment. It is known as enjambment. Here enjambment have been used. Students, these are the poetic devices have been used in this poem. Once again I tell you, rhyme scheme, alliteration, anaphora and enjambment. So these are the very important. In the poetic devices you should know what are the poetic devices have been used in the poem. Means you have to say rhyme scheme, alliteration, anaphora and enjambment. These are the poetic devices used in the poem. I hope you have understood. Students, this is the homework. Write in your English homework note. Watch the class without skip. Then only you will understand. I complete this session with the interesting facts of Deccan the Kangaroo. Watch it. You can know more about Deccan the Kangaroo. I meet you in the next class. Thank you.
Where the kangaroos live. Is a kangaroo a mammal? What is a baby kangaroo called? What is the top speed of a kangaroo? Let us learn about kangaroos. Kangaroos live in Australia, New Guinea, and Tasmania. Kangaroos are marsupial animals. Marsupial animals are mammals that carry their babies in a pouch. There are 4 types of kangaroos: the red kangaroo, eastern grey kangaroo, western grey kangaroo, and antilopean kangaroo. The red kangaroo is the largest kangaroo species. Kangaroos eat grasses, leaves, and other vegetation. They also eat fruits and flowers. Kangaroos usually eat during the night. They spend the day resting in the shade. Kangaroos can grow to 10 feet tall. They can weigh up to 200 pounds. Kangaroos have large feet and a strong tail. As a result, they can jump very high. A red kangaroo can jump up to 10 feet high. A red kangaroo can leap up as far as 25 feet. Kangaroos can live around 6 years in the wild. They live up to 20 years in captivity. Kangaroos love sports. Kangaroos can swim. They run, jump, and box. A kangaroo moves by hopping around on its 2 legs quickly. Kangaroos can move very fast. They can travel up to 40 miles per hour.